Hello everybody, it's Vertical Sandwich. Welcome to a post-commentary battle. So, the thing in the desert is ridiculous, right? It's this thing, it's got like two heads, one that does like physical attacks and one that does magic attacks, and then it has like a main body that also does attacks at you, and so you have to like target the heads and stuff, but this is the setup. It took me multiple attempts to get this to work. So, yeah, so this is our setup for what we're doing here. And this is, like, yeah, I had multiple failures using, like, berserkers and stuff like that, and it just didn't work. Like, the Dark Knight strategy really works because it ignores defense and hits all targets, like using darkness. So this took me, this took over a half an hour. The fight itself probably takes a little less than half an hour. So this will be 2 videos.
Nadala! Ho, isa kimt winarana. Vana husidler fundrek fiend.
She says they're no match.
No, we understood it, man. But that's the gist of it.
Company.
Okay.
Driked! Everyone, be careful!
Alright, so, one of the things you're going to want to do is you're going to want to Mighty Guard, and you're going to want to Reflect. And the reason you're going to want to Reflect is not having Reflect on will leave you vulnerable to instant kills by Flare. Alright, so that's the MP draining attack. And then it also has, like, a multiple attack to target thing that is awful. This thing. Perdition's Flame. If you don't have Mighty Guard up for this, it's pretty rough. I mean, it's still pretty rough. So we'll be taking advantage of Riku's abilities to do everything, and her having Ragnarok. So she's just going to be constantly using White Wind to heal everybody up. And when she has some spare moments, she'll be using Annihilator to do all 9's worth of damage. And then, see, so there, those instant flare death. Because no Reflect. So yeah, this strategy is long. Like, it's a super long strategy. But one of the things that is reasonably handy is just trying to keep at least one of these heads kind of down. It seems to distract the main body and make it cast full life,
No
which
pain, no gain.
clearly can't hurt you. But once they're both up, it's kind of like all bets are off, so... And this is just it. Like, is this a great strategy? No. No, it is not. But it's an effective one. It's just long. And things can go pretty wrong. But the force of nature on Yuna helps a little bit.
There's enough pain to go around.
Now these Thundagas and stuff will also do additional, like, chip damage if we can reflect them, which is nice. But, I mean, more importantly, they just won't hit us anymore. So see, I mean, it did almost 200 points of damage. That's nothing in the grand scheme of things, but... So there we go. Annihilator is awesome. Annihilator is just free 10,000 damage to this thing. But you do have to constantly heal because darkness clearly costs hit points. And this is actually, I believe that, oh, this must be. This is actually a bar to getting the last dress sphere, so unless you use an alternate strategy to get the last dress sphere, which you might be able to win it from one of the weird creature creator tournaments or something, I'm not sure. Now the alternate thing is that you could grind up a lot of levels for this fight. I mean, there's no reason that you have to do it right now. You have a chance to go back to the airship. You can go do a bunch of other stuff. You could do a similar strategy as this if you had 3 gun mages who all knew an Annihilator. You could be doing some pretty crazy damage. I mean, if you could get off 2 Annihilators every turn. But the big advantage of darkness is that it doesn't take magic points, and this fight will, over time, drain your magic points down.
This had better be worth it.
So yeah, I think it's funny watching it cast 3 versions of Bio on itself and have it do nothing. Yeah, one of the heads is impervious to the damage from Annihilator.
May pain be my blade.
And one of them is impervious to the damage from darkness, I think. But I'm not 100% sure about that.
I guess there's no choice.
We're gonna hear a lot of just random
May
character
pain be my
dialogue
blade.
during this. Because it's like an endless fight. It's ridiculous.
Bullets come in all kinds.
We have to hit this thing like 200 times to do enough damage to kill it. I mean, that's at like 1,500 a piece. It has over 300,000 hit points. So there we go, Bloody Breath, but it doesn't matter because it actually doesn't do anything that stops us from casting darkness, I don't think. Oh, never mind. White Wind just like cures it, apparently. Huh. I guess I wasn't really paying attention to my own strategy as I was doing it. Because I don't remember that being a benefit. I just remember not having to worry about the status effects. Yeah, you can in fact reflect this boss, and if it does cast Kiraga, it will hit your characters, but it's a minor point. Like, the net gain from that Kiraga was negative 8,000.
My suffering mirrors yours.
But I just wonder what Annihilator would do with break damage. And I will never know until I do like a second playthrough.
This had better be worth it.
So long. So crazy. Ah! I'm getting uncomfortable in my chair, which is the thing that does not happen when I'm playing games, because I have to sit in one specific way. But when I'm doing post-commentary stuff, I can sit back and I can relax. And then it is not an issue.
This had better be worth it.
Yeah, White Wind is so broken. The whole gun mage deal is pretty broken. I need to actually look up what I can do as far as getting gun mage abilities. Because right now where I'm at is like level 84 or something of the Infinite Dungeon. And I'm debating what I'm going to do. I've been doing some research and it seems... the future seems bleak. Let's put it that way. Yeah, and I had to do this, like, I ran through this fight in my practice file, so I had to go through this boring, repetitive nightmare twice.
There's enough pain to go around.
I mean, this is the kind of thing that we, like, expect from Final Fantasy games, right? Is that it's a thing I harp on a lot, is that at some point in Final Fantasy games what they decided was that there should be bosses and challenges for completionists and bosses and challenges for casual players. Right? So, and that was about Final Fantasy IX, I think. Because I would argue that the boss of Final Fantasy VII and of Final Fantasy VIII are both very hard for casual players. The boss of Final Fantasy VIII is nightmarish for casual players. Whereas the boss in Final Fantasy X is a giveaway. By the time you get to the boss in Final Fantasy X, there's no problem. And I don't remember having a lot of problem with the boss in Final Fantasy IX. However, the optional bosses are, I mean, like, the optional boss, I mean, like, what, Nemesis in Final Fantasy X, and that's ridiculous. Nemesis is ridiculous. And then the international version had that crazy thing. I don't know, I beat it, Judgment or whatever. And then this thing has a thing I've never even beaten. But this thing's way out. This thing's way harder than what I remember Magnagun being. But because yeah, I guess spoiler alert: the final boss is like Magnagun. Whatever.
No pain, no gain.
But I may be wrong about that.
May pain be my blade.
I remember I was such a completionist when I casually played through this that by the time I got to the end, it was unnecessary. Like there was. I also remember playing through it, having to play through it at least 3 times to get to my 100% completion.
There's enough pain to go around.
Alright, so when we come back, we'll be doing the second half of this fight. It's going to be about the same length as what we just saw. So, yeah, and then after that, we'll be continuing to clean up the things we haven't done yet, which, it's a nightmare. So, I'll see you guys for that, and bye, everybody.